Elliot Friedman, he released a statement about a potential start date in mid-January, January 15th, I guess. 13th, he said yesterday, so somewhere between the 13th, 15th range. I don't know if you want to read off this tweet here, Nate.
Yeah, so this was on a thread, of course, with a an additional article, I guess, to go with it for some more information. But Elliot Friedman saying here from last night with at David Amber and at reporter Chris, being Chris Johnson, two sides are grinding away. There's likely no exhibition games. January 13th is also mentioned as a potential start date. There was a discussion about 60 games, but that would be difficult and is therefore unlikely. He proceeded to continue on in another tweet. Tougher to get a strong grip on economic discussions. Obviously very sensitive. Players have made it clear they will not touch 6% escrow cap in final 3 years or CBA. We will see on deferring money. Both sides are working on it.
So yeah, a few things to unpack here. I think the most interesting one that you caught right away was the no exhibition game one.
I thought that was pretty interesting. The fact that you want to go into a season with having no exhibition games, we understand that a lot of these players have been skating around and kind of playing against each other and whatnot too, right?
It's still not the same though.
It's still not the same as even an exhibition game. So because we saw even last the playoffs, I guess they got to play one exhibition game, but could you imagine some those games if they didn't have that one under their belt? It'd be a little odd to start.
I think so. And I mean, they kind of knew that going into it, so I think they were training really, really hard in camp, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the players will adjust. I think that they'll be fine. It's just going to be a little bit weird. I think the first couple games there's going to be a little bit less action than there tends to be. There's not going to be that explosive speed that you normally see in game one of the season. But I think the teams that are really going to struggle with it are going to be teams like us, like the 7 that haven't played since March, because at least the other teams have played. Most of them played a few months ago. So
yeah, for sure. You would think that for teams like that, there'd at least be 2-3 exhibition games, because to play or to not have played from March until the next January, right? Or even February, who knows? That's almost a year without playing a game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd honestly say the majority of these players have never had that long in between playing.
Mm-mm. No, not unless you count the lockout seasons.
Yeah, exactly. And even then they went overseas or did other things like that, right? But they weren't playing as a team. Mm-hmm. They weren't playing as, say, the Anaheim Ducks, right? Which, yes, that does make a difference.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point too. Is that a lot of players are on loan overseas? Not necessarily the big names, but your bottom 6, bottom 4 pairings. I guess your backup goalies too. Like they've been playing overseas, or a lot of your prospects too. But those aren't really the guys that are maybe going to be on your opening night roster. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting for sure. I don't get why no exhibition games. So what if you add an extra 4 days to the schedule to get 2 exhibition games in for each team?
Exactly.
I just don't get that. But whatever. What are your thoughts on the number of games for the season? In an earlier tweet, he had said it would be in the 50s. This one, it sounds more like the 60s for a number of games.
I feel like the 50s is going to be the safe bet. Because what did they play in the 2012-2013 season? Was it 48?
I think.
Yeah. So that's close enough, right? They're still wanting to finish by mid-July, so you have playoff consideration in there as well of about 2 months.
Yeah.
It's going to be tight with 50-some games, but that's a lot more doable, I think, than the 60 for sure. Mm-hmm. On the bright side, though, if you can remember back to that 2012-13 season and just how go it was, it could make up for it could turn out to be another great season.